They say the boardroom is a temple of cold logic, where hierarchies are absolute and professional distance is a contract. But what happens when that contract becomes a weapon? This is RayReels, and today we are counting down the top 10 boss and employee relationship movies that ended in total ruin. At number 10, Passion, 2012. Isabel is a brilliant researcher working under Christine, a manipulative marketing executive. Their relationship is professional on the surface, but underneath, it is a volatile mix of admiration and sexual tension that Christine uses to her advantage. The catalyst is the theft of credit and heart. Christine steals Isabel's ideas to further her own career, then seduces her as a way to maintain psychological control, turning a mentor-protege bond into a predatory game of cat and mouse. The fallout is a masterclass in social and physical ruin. As the professional sabotage escalates, the relationship turns into a cold-blooded murder plot. Isabel's sanity is liquidated as she realizes that in Christine's world, you are either the boss or the victim. The RayReels verdict: ambition is a blood sport. Isabel learned that when your boss offers you a seat at the table, she might just be planning to serve you as the main course. Number 9, Tar, 2022. Lydia Tarr is at the absolute zenith of the music world, the boss of the Berlin Philharmonic, who treats her assistants and students like disposable assets in her relentless pursuit of artistic perfection. The catalyst is the abuse of professional hierarchy. Lydia uses her prestige to curate the lives of young musicians, trading career-defining opportunities for personal access, until the digital footprints of her betrayal begin to surface. The fallout is a masterclass in slow-motion annihilation. We witness the liquidation of a legend in real time, stripped of her orchestra, her family, and her dignity, ending in a permanent exile from every hall of power she once commanded. The RayReels verdict: the higher the pedestal, the harder the fall. Lydia Tarr proved that genius is never a valid excuse for the total bankruptcy of the soul. If you're finding this list unsettling, good. That means it's working. Drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from. Please hit subscribe so you never miss when we crack the next file open. Now, back to the countdown. Coming in at number 8, Bombshell, 2019. Megyn Kelly, Gretchen Carlson, and a chorus of women built their careers inside the most powerful news empire in America. Fox News, under the authority of Roger Ailes, a man who ran the network like a personal kingdom. The catalyst is the trade. Ailes didn't just manage careers, he auctioned them. Behind closed doors, professional advancement came with a price tag that had nothing to do with talent and everything to do with compliance. The hierarchy wasn't just abused. It was the entire business model. The fallout is the implosion of an institution. When the women begin to speak, the carefully constructed empire starts to crack from the inside, and what falls is not just one man's career, but the illusion that power at that level was ever operating within any kind of moral contract. The RayReels verdict: Roger Ailes didn't run a newsroom. He ran a transaction, and the currency was always the women who trusted him with their careers. Ailes traded access for silence and called it management. Our next entry has two people who were perfectly matched, until one of them got a promotion. Number 7, Fair Play, 2023. Emily and Luke are the gold standard of modern ambition. Analysts at a cutthroat Manhattan hedge fund who are equals in the bedroom and equals on the trading floor, until a single promotion shatters the balance. The catalyst is the inversion of power. When Emily is elevated to Luke's boss, the professional hierarchy poisons their private life, turning their partnership into a toxic struggle where Luke cannot process what it means to be subordinate to the woman he loves. The fallout is a brutal psychological war. Luke's ego enters total liquidation, a public breakdown and a horrifying final confrontation that annihilates the very future their shared ambition was supposed to build. The RayReels verdict: in the world of high finance, there is no room for two at the top. Emily didn't just get a promotion, she triggered the bankruptcy of her own heart. Luke's ego couldn't survive the hierarchy. But what happens when the boss manufactures the hierarchy herself? Number 6, Chloe, 2010. Catherine is a successful doctor who suspects her husband of infidelity. Her solution? She hires an escort named Chloe to test him. A purely professional arrangement with a clear objective and a clean exit strategy. The catalyst is the hired affair. The professional contract spirals when Catherine becomes addicted to Chloe's reports of the encounters. Until the line between the boss and her employee dissolves completely, crossing every moral boundary the arrangement was designed to prevent. The fallout is the total liquidation of a family. What starts as a desperate attempt to save a marriage ends in a fatal obsession. Catherine's home, her composure, and her carefully managed life, all consumed by a contract she could never close. The RayReels verdict. Catherine hired a professional to catch a liar, but she ended up bankrupting her own life in the process. Catherine used a contract to expose a lie and only exposed herself. Our next entry takes that same energy to the streets, where the badge is the contract and the cover-up is the business. Number 5. Greedy People, 2024. Will is a rookie cop trying to build a career under the guidance of his veteran partner. His future is bright, his path is clear, until he makes one fatal mistake during a call and the cover-up begins. The catalyst is the partner's wife. Will's professional integrity is completely liquidated when he enters a frantic, messy entanglement with his superior's wife amidst the chaos of stolen money and mounting bodies. The fallout is the total arrest of a career. The hierarchy that was supposed to protect him becomes his cage. As the situation spirals, Will realizes his boss isn't just his partner. He is the man who now holds Will's entire life in his hands. The RayReels verdict. In a town full of greedy people, a rookie's badge is just a target. Will traded his professional future for a secret that ended in total ruin. Will's ruin came from the outside. In our next entry, the ruin comes from within, from the oldest institution in the world. Number 4. Disobedience, 2017. Ronit returns to her strict Orthodox community after the death of her father, the community's spiritual leader. She finds her childhood love now married to the man set to inherit her father's position, the new boss of their entire world. The catalyst is institutional betrayal. Ronit and the wife of the incoming leader rekindle a forbidden romance that defies the laws of their community and the authority of the man who now rules it. The fallout is a social autopsy. The affair doesn't just ruin reputations. It liquidates their standing in the only world they have ever known, leading to permanent exile and the complete bankruptcy of their previous identities. The RayReels verdict. Some hierarchies are built on faith, and when you break that contract, there is no severance package, only total exclusion. Some hierarchies are built on faith. Others are built on image. But the cost of breaking them is always exactly the same. Our top 3 represent a shift from personal scandal to absolute narrative annihilation, where the ruin isn't just a consequence. It is the entire point of the business. Number 3. Below Her Mouth, 2016. Jasmine is a successful fashion editor with a high-powered life and a stable fiancé, a world carefully constructed around the image of professional success. Then she meets Dallas, a roofer working on a project nearby, and she makes a choice. The catalyst is the project affair. Jasmine, the boss of her own carefully curated world, risks everything for a raw, uninhibited connection with a woman who represents everything her polished life is not. The fallout is not an accident, it is a decision. Jasmine doesn't stumble into ruin. She walks toward it with her eyes open, trading the safety net of her perfect life for something real. The bankruptcy here is willing, and that is what makes it hit hardest. The RayReels verdict. Jasmine found out that sometimes the most dangerous workplace hazard is the one that makes you want to burn the whole office down. Jasmine burned her life down willingly. Our next entry is about a man who watched someone else do it and could not look away. Number 2. The Paperboy, 2012. Ward Jansen is a high-profile journalist who returns to his Florida hometown to investigate a death row case. A man of facts, of professional distance, of editorial discipline. Then Charlotte Bless walks into the story. The catalyst is the reporter's obsession. Ward's younger brother, working as their driver, falls into an erotic fixation on Charlotte that bleeds directly into the investigation, compromising every professional boundary Ward has ever set. The fallout is a masterclass in professional and physical ruin. The obsession liquidates the integrity of the story and leads to a violent, swampy descent into madness that leaves the entire family's reputation in the dirt. The RayReels verdict. In the heat of the swamp, facts melt. Ward learned that you cannot report on the fire when your own family is holding the match. Ward lost control of the story. Our number 1 is about a man who never had control to begin with. He just convinced everyone, including himself, that he did. Number 1. The Wolf of Wall Street, 2013. Jordan Belfort is the ultimate boss, a man who built an empire on the ruins of other people's bank accounts. At Stratton Oakmont, the corporate culture isn't just about money. It is about the total liquidation of morality. The catalyst is the brokerage as a cult. Jordan doesn't just encourage his employees to trade their ethics for commissions. He demands it. Affairs, drugs, betrayal, these are standard business currency. A management philosophy built entirely on the systematic destruction of everyone around him. The fallout is absolute moral and legal bankruptcy. Prison sentences, destroyed families, and the permanent arrest of the human soul. Jordan's vision didn't just break the law. It consumed every single person who ever believed in it. The RayReels verdict. Power doesn't just corrupt, it consumes. Jordan Belfort didn't run a company. He ran a cult of liquidation where the final price was everything. From the predatory podiums of Berlin to the trading floors of Manhattan, every entry on this list asks the same question. What are you willing to liquidate to stay at the top? The answer, it turns out, is everything. This is RayReels. If you enjoyed this cinematic autopsy, subscribe for more deep dives into the movies that crossed every line. Stay clinical.